Shop Tour Bus has the coolest Grateful Dead inspired merch on the planet.
How do you know?
Because I saw it.
What?
And if you don't saw it, you don't know it. You should go saw it over at shoptourbus.com or at Shop Tour Bus on Instagram, and you can check out the most amazing Grateful Dead inspired t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, tote bags, all kinds of stuff.
Like their latest one, the They Love Each Other design. There are so many cool designs, and they keep them coming. It's hard to keep up with, and these are the most comfy t-shirts I own.
You don't have to wait to buy these. You can do it right now. Even if it's after Valentine's Day, you can still order an They Love Each Other shirt.
That's true. You know, there's nothing better than getting somebody something for Valentine's Day, giving it to them on Valentine's Day, and then getting them something else and giving it to them after.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Or if you didn't, then you can make up for it by doing this. So go to shoptourbus.com, and when you're checking out, put in the promo code NOSIMPLEROAD, all one word, and you're going to get free shipping. Some of you might even get a Grateful Dead bootleg in your order as a miracle.
The magic.
You don't even know, man. If you don't know, you don't know. You got to see it to believe it. Go to shoptourbus.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third-party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back.
No Simple Road. Yeah, here we go. No Simple Road.
Now that everybody's mics is working, here we are. Hey now, No Simple Road family. This is Aaron.
And it's Apple.
And it's Mel.
And we're here for another episode of No Simple Road. Yeah.
What kind of road?
It's not simple, and it's a road, and it's ours. And you guys are on it with us. How's everybody doing this week? Feeling good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
feeling
doing
better.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I'm
Getting
glad.
over the whole 30 no energy slump.
Yeah.
They had the January storms are behind us.
Yep.
We are recuperating.
And we have a dope ass guest this week. We have Danny Evans, This Old Engine, with us this week. You may know him from the past, from Amoramora, and or you may know him from now, from all the amazing artwork he's created for most of the bands that you know and love. If you don't already follow him on Instagram, you should go do that now.
Yeah, you can follow him on Instagram at thisoldengine_, and you can go over to his shop on the internet at thisoldengine.net to see his portfolio and see what he's got up there for sale.
Name some of the bands that are up there for me.
He's done stuff for Dogs in a Pile, Humphreys McGee, Sam Grisman Project, Midnight North, The National, Papadosio, just to name a few.
Well, yeah, he's no slouch. Just to say, I'm just saying, it's pretty amazing what Danny has managed to do, man. We first met back just before quarantine when he was in Amoramora, and they actually came to the house, hung out with us, and then
Gave us some dope tie-dyes.
Yeah,
and still have one of my favorite shirts that he hooked me up with. And yeah, man, it's cool to see somebody make lemonade with what life throws at you. It's not always easy to land on your feet when you're doing something that's your passion and you're trying to make a go of it, and it's working, and then the world decides to shut down and that thing falls apart. Like, I know if I was in that situation, it would seem really hardcore.
Yeah, it'd be dire. Like, and you're gonna hear it in this interview. First of all, you're here. This is like a homie. This is a great conversation with just another brother, and it really delves into the world behind like doing screen printing and stuff. And he's a machine. I mean, you can go on and see on his Instagram. I love it. He does the fast motion, like showing the process of what goes into doing a t-shirt and everything, and his like connections in that industry. And this was such a fun time talking to Danny.
Yeah. And it really does speak to, the legacy of the Grateful Dead family and passing down knowledge from one member of the family to another. You know what I mean? You'll hear in the interview what I'm talking about, but this is, the older generation teaching the younger generation to keep art forms flowing. And it's all because of the music. And that's what, is at the center of all of it.
Yeah.
And that's the dopest part of all of this. So, Mel?
Yes.
You want to tell them anything about this interview and you?
No, I wasn't a part of this interview.
That's what I was wanting you to tell them.
Yeah, no, I was not a part of this interview. I was upstairs with our daughter at the time, and I felt like that was really important to squeeze every moment of my time with my family while they're here, since they're not living with us under the roof anymore. And Jasper. So that specific day, I was getting ready for Jasper's birthday Christmas, and I was upstairs gathering candles and flowers and presents and all these cool things so that when you guys were done with this interview, we could celebrate Jasper's birthday along with Christmas,
which has also turned into a make it at home pizza party.
Yeah. It was, everyone's got their passion, and Danny just talking about that here. And my passion is my family. I think that I can say that clearly without any, is that my passion? No, it's my passion. And like, if I can make their life better, even in 1 hour spent with them, that's what I want to do. Okay. That's what I'm all about. If you're like, what's Mel's bag? Family.
Right. Got it.
Well, and that's one thing that's awesome about what we do with the three of us is, Aaron doesn't ever miss an episode because he is the conductor. He has always never missed a show. I've missed more than Mel. Mel has missed a couple, but there's the three of us. So when it does happen, we're still able to have these amazing conversations and connect with all these people we love.
And if you guys couldn't make it, me and Darwin could do it.
Yeah, I think that there's nothing wrong with switching up No Simple Road every now and then. I think it's fantastic to have that happens. And, things in general happen, like, oh shit.
You mean that bumper sticker's real?
Yeah. Power's out. We can't record. Or dang, we double booked. We got to reschedule. Or dang, our son's coming and I am not willing to miss an hour with him. And we got to, reschedule our show. Like, to me, what we're doing is not dire, but it's important.
Yeah.
It's not, if we don't,
nobody's going to die.
No one's going to die. No one's going to get hurt if we don't record. But my feelings would be hurt if I wouldn't be able to spend time with my family. So I think that I made the right choice, and now I get to look forward to an episode that I wasn't a part of that I get to hear.
You guys are lucky, man. I never have had that.
That's one of my favorite things. Is like last week's. I wasn't.
Bobby
wasn't
Vega.
here for Bobby Vega. I was looking so forward. I had to wait a little while for it to come out when the anticipation, and that was so fun and funny. Maybe for shits and giggles, sometimes me and Mel should do an episode without you. We'll make you sit out. So
yeah, no, that's fine.
You'll have to set it all up, and then
you being able to handle that.
I wouldn't. My OCD about the sound and all that shit. I would be at the door scratching like Darwin the whole time.
This is true. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get him to this.
So yeah, Danny, I'm sorry I couldn't make it, but I'm really excited to listen to the episode, and you're freaking rad. You rock on. And even though Amoramora is, gone, I still proudly wear my long sleeve black dyed Amoramora t-shirt all the time.
Yes, you do.
I love it.
I know.
It's so cozy, and it's a dope design, and I'm proud of you, brother, for, like Aaron said, making lemonade out of a situation that could have easily stole your thunder.
Yeah, Danny's got a lot of thunder, man.
Hey, one last thing I forgot to mention, because he also did this for you've listened to the past Fire on the Mountain, one of our sponsors before.
Oh yeah.
He designed, you can see him on Instagram, he designed a set of posters for all of the Fire on the Mountain locations that are just amazing. He did such a good job for our friends over at Fire on the Mountain.
Yeah. So let's get you to the conversation with Danny. Let's do the business and get you there. Follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on the social medias, things, places. Go to our website and do website things there.
NoSimpleRoad.com.
Like buying merch and tarot readings.
See what we're up to, where we're going.
All the things. Get calendar of events. Go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. Now hear me out. You listen to this all the time. Bless you, Mel.
Thank you.
You listen to me say this all the time, but seriously, it's a new year. There's inflation out there. I get that everybody's struggling, all right? But if you're a listener of No Simple Road every week, I'm asking all of you that listen every week to pitch in $1.
Yeah.
Can you do that
That's
for
fair,
us? Help us
right?
keep No Simple Road going. We need your help, for real.
1, 2, or 3 episodes a week. Like, if you listen to any one of those numbers, that deserves $1 a month.
With the latest math, we put out 8 episodes a month. And if you break that down, that ends up being 7.5 cents per episode.
Yeah, man. If we're not worth 7.5 cents, you shouldn't be listening. But here's the thing, we're putting our skin in the game. We're spending our time and doing our thing and making sure that you get these episodes every week. And we would just appreciate it if everybody could just throw us $1 once a month and help us out, and that'll keep us going, and I'll shut the hell up. And for what you get for that is a bunch of extra content. You get all the episodes ad-free and early-ish, and you're getting a whole bunch of other stuff.
And
so
you're getting
just go over there and check it out.
Yeah, the pride in being like, I'm helping out the family. Like, you're literally helping out the family, and we super, super appreciate that.
Yep. And hey, check this out. No Simple Road is now on YouTube. You can go to the No Simple Road YouTube channel, and all episodes from 2019 forward are on YouTube for you to listen to. If I know a lot of you listen to podcasts on YouTube now.
That's a younger generation thing, which,
man.
You have your, laptop up and on, and you're maybe doing your, I don't know, cooking or showering, God knows what.
And it's super cool because you get a chance to see, you've probably seen us, but you get a chance to see us speaking.
No, you don't see us. It's just listening.
Oh, it's just listening.
It's our logo.
Yeah, not video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just audio.
Clearly Apple hasn't been on it yet.
Yeah, clearly Apple doesn't know what he's talking about. No, but it's okay. We're over there on YouTube, and if you want to listen to us over there, you can.
Really quickly, too, just do this quickly. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, you can go over there, hit that 5 stars, and then you can go further and give us a review. We have not had a review since November. Just asking somebody, please give us some love.
Wait a minute. In the last episode, we asked all of you nicely. And now I'm not asking nicely anymore.
So nobody listened to the last episode?
I guess
nobody
not.
At all?
I guess not.
Not one person?
I guess not. That's the way this goes. No,
maybe everybody that listened to the episode already left a review?
Or everybody that listened to the episode thought somebody else was going to do it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not.
That's
It's
it.
you, man.
It's your job.
Go leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We would really appreciate it, and you would be the first person in 2024 to give No Simple Road some love on Apple Podcasts. Yeah. Other than that, man, tell somebody you love about the show.
Oh, the tepid line.
And you can call
You know what?
971-808-1524.
The first person that leaves a review is going to get an art piece from me.
Oh, shit.
All right.
So-
Mel's throwing down the gauntlet.
You leave a review and send us some kind of email or something with your info, whether it's your address or your number, whatever, however I can get a hold of you, and I'm sending you something special.
Oh, shit. Mel putting up.
Yeah.
Not shutting up.
stepping it
The
up.
first one I said, not.
Yeah, not 20,000 of you
No.
people.
Well, gosh, I mean, nobody's doing it anyway, but so well, let's
Right
see
on.
if this does anything.
And like Apple said, you can call 971-808-1524. That is the No Simple Road tepid line, or the David from California line, or John B line, if you will.
Whichever.
You can call and you got 3 minutes to say whatever you want. So that's how that goes. But beyond that, tell somebody you love about No Simple Road. So
It
that we
could
can
be like something like, hey, No Simple Road family, I just signed up for Patreon for $3 a month because I freaking love you guys. Here's my 5-star review telling you what I love. And then here's a freaking a call. And here, Mel, you know what? Send me that art piece because I was the one.
okay. That's
you
an
can do
example.
all of that in about 5 minutes.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah. Apple ain't lying. All right, everybody. We're going to get you to this conversation with Danny. And before I do, I want to say we love all of you. Thanks for listening to the
Yeah.
show, man. And I hope you enjoy this. Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Danny Evans.
Doo-doo, doo-doo.
Can you hear me?
Danny. Yeah. What's up, man?
Yo.
There we
What
go.
up?
Nah.
What's up, guys?
What's cracking, man?
Oh, just hanging out in the misty Flatirons. As you
Cool.
can see.
Aren't you cold out there?
Yeah, I forgot a jacket. So, it's pretty chilly
You're
out here.
rugged.
Danny,
Hey, nice shirt, Aaron.
you like that?
Dude, that's so OG, bro.
This is, honest to God, man, one of my favorite shirts. Like, this is one of the shirts that, like, even if it's dirty, I'll still wear it.
He does wear it a lot.
My no simple road shirt now belongs to my fiance.
We'll have to remedy that. We'll have to hook
Hey,
you up.
I'm down.
Yeah. Dude, do me a favor for everybody that doesn't already know you. Why don't you tell them who you are and what you do?
So I'm Danny Evans. I am a graphic designer and screen printer. I live in Boulder, Colorado, and my specialty is hand-pulled screen printed posters.
It sure is.
Yeah,
It is
so that's
dizzy.
who I am.
Watching you, those sped up videos of you doing it is dizzying the amount of work you're putting in, Danny.
Dude.
I know, right? I know. I'm always like, maybe I should go faster so I can fit more into 15 seconds.
No,
No. It's really repetitive, man. It's actually I went back like a few days ago while I was working and listened to the last podcast that we did together. And it's just crazy like how much time has passed and
Brother.
like how much has changed.
Yeah.
well, not just the fact that like you're doing what you're doing, but like the world has changed.
I know.
Everything is different. Like, so when were you on in 18 or 19?
19 at the end of 19.
So we still had no clue what was about to hit us.
Yeah,
No,
no, it was we were on tour, in Florida of all places. So we didn't really have a good handle on the situation
Oh shit.
until we really kind of got home. I slept for like a couple days. This was in like March.
Right.
Yeah, and then I woke up and everything was different.
Oh. So is that the catalyst behind Amoramora not being together anymore? Have you ever wanted to be the headlight on a northbound train, but you couldn't get out of bed and you didn't have the fuel to make it happen? Has that ever happened to you?
Yes, several times.
I have the cure. Our friends over at Northbound Coffee Roasters are brewing up the finest artisan coffee anywhere on the planet. I am telling the truth. This is the Grateful Dead family making the best of the best. This is a family-owned and operated coffee roastery out of Mount Shasta, California, with a combined 22 years of coffee experience. And Keith and Jen, the owners over there, have over 600 Grateful Dead shows between the two of them. They specialize in specialty organic coffees with a wide variety of coffee roast profiles, blends, and single origin offerings to match the tastes of just about everybody and anybody that enjoys a cup of coffee. So here's the deal. Head over to northboundcoffee.com to learn more and place your order today. They ship anywhere in the U.S. and their coffees are always roasted to order to guarantee
That's my favorite part.
the freshest cup. Yeah, it's nice to have a roast date on the bag that's like 2 days before the coffee got to your house.
Yep.
You know that shit is fresh. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to use the code NOSIMPLEROAD at checkout for free shipping on your first order any size anywhere in the U.S.
And make sure to go over to Instagram and follow them at Northbound Coffee Roasters. They have a great Instagram, and their latest post reminds us all that no one is alone with a cup of coffee in their hand.
This is true. And hey, check out the American Beauty. We've tried that one, the Spoon Bender, and on February 13th to commemorate their anniversary, they're coming out with the Tiger Rose. So all of these amazing Grateful Dead inspired coffees are coming to you straight to your door. Free shipping on your first order. It's a whole thing. Let's hear it for Northbound Coffee Roasters.
Yay!
Yeah, I mean, the kind of coronavirus hit and we were like trying to make stuff happen, and there was a bunch of like health things that happened behind the scenes, and we were going to try to record an album. And then, Mitch moved down to New Orleans. Mitch texted me the day that I learned how to screen print. I was like walking into my buddy's house, and Mitch was like, "Hey man, I'm moving to New Orleans." And I was like, "All right, well, it's like, we're not touring." And, it just kind of, I don't know, my whole brain just switched in that moment. And, I don't know. I played a little bit out after that. I did like that solo release.
I saw you do some solo stuff.
I have like all these demos, and I was like all, pumped up to kind of release a bunch of solo material and record a whole album, kind of go like super bedroom recording on it. But around the same time, I actually started working. I got a job at a screen printing shop. Because, I wasn't gigging. I wasn't able to have side gigs. I had a residency, like up in Keystone for a while, but I still like had to find supplemental stuff. So I went part-time at this print shop. Print shop ends up at that point in time. We were doing like a good portion of the Dead and Company print. Yeah. My first print that I walked into was like a freaking 9-color Richard Biffle, Jerry Garcia estate.
No pressure.
Damn.
Yeah.
No pressure.
On gold foil.
Right.
On gold foil. So it was like a quick, fast love with the screen printing thing. And as you know, like I had already been kind of doing this old engine when we first even met.
Yeah.
Which was funny to think about too. Where like it all started and kind of where it's ended up. But I worked at that screen printing shop I got that job right around the time Amoramora kind of ended. I did my own thing, and then months passed, got that job. And I learned, an insane amount of information about high fidelity screen printing and serography. And it was cool. Because it coincided with the same time that I was able to start to get a lot of bands reaching out that wanted me to do graphics for them. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Sometimes I play Boulder Dead Night, break it out, I have fun with the boys.
Is it so? Well, I'm curious again. So getting that job, I mean, that was very beneficial. It sounds like. So sounds like you got paid to get more of an education in the screen printing and all that.
Yeah, I definitely did. I definitely don't want to say that that's not what happened, but that was not easy work compared to like what you guys like what those like videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, we printed like I think we printed like almost 20,000 Emic prints one
Holy
summer.
shit.
Yeah. Like
That's
these were
that's
long
backbreaking.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, you know, big piles of paper and big gallons of ink. I mean, you know, it's not like the hardest job. We're not up there like climbing towers and like welding things together.
Right.
It's
You know?
demanding, very
But
demanding.
it definitely was a different form of work that I wasn't used to, with just, you know, touring around with the guys kind of doing whatever we wanted to all the time.
Like now you have to show up at a certain time and stuff. Like what the fuck? No.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know. Well, the cool thing about that job is I worked there for like just a little under a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to like kind of go full time for myself ever since like the beginning of 2022, I think.
Wow. So Danny, I'm curious, man. Like you're doing Amoramora, and then you know your COVID happens. You get the job at this spot, and you said like bands start reaching out to you. What was the prompt for bands to start reaching out to you? Like, did you put the word out that you were in the business, or what? Like, was it just Instagram? What made it happen? All mushroom chocolate bars are not created equal.
No.
I do not believe that. I firmly stand behind it. And I'm going to tell everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice right now to go follow at Melt Mushrooms on Instagram. MELT.
Well, why would you do that?
MELTMUSHROOMS, plural. Make sure you put the plural
That
in there.
S at the end.
Yeah. Follow them. You are going to find the most amazing mushroom chocolate bars on the planet. These are made by family that is top of the line chocolate. 9 flavors. Wait, 10 now.
10,
Yeah.
if you count the new puffed quinoa crunch.
That's right. 10 flavors. There's 4 grams of their sacred mushroom blend in every bar. There's a bunch of adaptogens in there that help with how everything works out. And these things actually taste amazing and do the trick. You can macro dose them, you can micro dose them, you could melt them and drink them. And if you don't want to have chocolate, they even have capsules. So what you're going to do is go follow them on Instagram at Melt Mushrooms, shoot them a DM, and tell them No Simple Road sent you. You're going to get 30% off for the month of February. Yeah, 30%
Wow.
off. That's a lot of percents off in February for you guys. So go follow Melt Mushrooms and take care of yourself.
That's a really good question. I guess it was kind of the Instagram thing. I mean, we had toured around for so long, and I had formed so many just actual friendships with like my homies in bands, and they knew that we took our graphic design seriously enough that people noticed. And then yeah, kind of like, you know, on Instagram, I'd share some stuff of me like running the big press at the job or whatever, and we get chatting. And then the first couple posters I got hired to do were just bands that we were friends with. This band, Waiting on Mongo, they're a funk band up in Asbury Park, New Jersey. They rip. My buddies, the Iceman Special, gave me my first like real big commercial shop poster, and I did like, you know, glow and all that stuff. These are all just people that we had played with, you know.
Right.
And then as like This Old Engine had already kind of had a following, people in the music industry, you know, believe it or not, liked what This Old Engine had been doing with like, you know, quote unquote, you know, maybe not fully, you know, non-bootleg things.
Right.
And but as the switch started to switch over to, they saw me doing more and more graphic work, I started being able to work with local venues here too that I had already had relationships with.
You kind of, so you had the framework was in place without you even knowing it, sort of.
Yeah. And I think, I had fooled around with illustration stuff, like even when Amoramora was still a thing. I had a couple friends that just kind of like one Thanksgiving break were like, dude, you should probably learn Illustrator. You should probably learn Photoshop. Like, sounds like you're pretty interested in it and it could be pretty beneficial. And then, yeah, sure enough, it kind of came came super full circle from that. But I do miss playing out and playing with
That's what I was going to ask.
Amoramora. You know, like it was funny listening to the last podcast because that was we were definitely just like on a high, and we had such a crazy. I don't know if it had happened yet, but right after I think we were in Portland, was the whole New Orleans debacle.
What happened?
When the guys got sent to jail.
What?
In New Orleans for I don't know if you guys saw that on Facebook.
No.
Yeah, it was like there's some weird thing. We were like renting vans from this guy for years, and like he was like, I have this other van, and it was like his dad in like suburban Colorado. We'd go out and he'd have the van in front of his house when he would pick it up.
Okay.
And he was like, hey guys, you know, I have this van in Mobile, Alabama, at the Mobile airport. You guys said you were going down to Mobile. If you guys could pick it up and drive it back, you guys don't have to pay for your van rental, and I'll pay for the gas for both vans to get back from Mobile. And I was just like, I don't know about this, guys. Like, you know, it's up to you guys. Like, we voted on it. They all wanted to do it. So like, yeah, they went and got the van. And we played in New Orleans, had a great time down there because Mitch had a bunch of homies down there.
Uh-huh.
And that was like a whole time in itself. And then we were getting ready to leave, and Jeremiah and I are in one van, and Mitch and Zach are in the other. And we're in traffic trying to get to like Austin, Texas, which is a pretty good stretch, you know, for one go, and then to play. You know what I mean? So the promoter was already texting me like, what's up, guys? Where are you guys at?
Gonna make it?
Like,
yeah.
We're in traffic in New Orleans. Like, we'll make it, you know? Like, give us a little Raisin Canes in a few hours and we'll be over there or whatever. I think it might have been Houston or something. I don't know if it was quite Austin. But anyways, we were sitting in traffic, and Jeremiah and I were like, this could really be the nail in the coffin of us like getting there on time. Like, this is really holding us up. And then we finally get to what the traffic is. And it's the other two dudes in the band that were driving in the other van. Like, getting back of a police car.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. The paperwork wasn't good on the van.
Okay, all right.
That was pick up.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So, I guess like.
So you didn't make that gig.
Yeah, we didn't make it to the Texas gigs.
Yeah.
Oh.
And no Raisin Canes.
Right after we had met. Yeah. So that was an interesting whole thing, you know, going to bail the guys out of jail. Like, they had to stay there in jail in New Orleans for a couple of days because it was like a weekend. And like, and then like, that was just
what the moral of the story is. If it looks too good to be true, probably is. Like,
yeah. I felt really guilty, you know, because it was like my guy that we had been using, you know, this whole time.
And he fucking set you all up, basically. Like,
yeah, he felt so bad. But the crazy thing is that once they had gotten arrested or whatever, we were like, okay, like, you need to call the police station and tell them like this van is not stolen.
Yeah.
And they just like, it was like more like it wasn't going to happen. Like, that wasn't getting them out of the system at that point.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Danny,
It was wild,
I mean, making the switch from playing music to doing art. I mean,
yeah.
Because let me back up. When we met you guys, like you said, you guys were on a high. We had just seen you play. Like, you guys were touring. It was getting ready to go down for you all.
Yeah,
and,
it was going down.
Yeah, and did you go through like any like weird emotional stuff?
So right before COVID, I lost like my best friend. And
I'm sorry,
really,
brother.
Yeah, and that changed like a lot of things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like that was like the hard thing that I went through around that time, you know, because it was like out of nowhere, and I had just seen him, like he had just come and visited me out here. And that was like that was happening at the beginning of 2020 as well.
Oh my God.
So when COVID hit, yeah, it was kind of rough.
Gnarly.
But yeah, it was gnarly, and that kind of like, that changed a lot of things for me as well. He was one of the guys that was like, yo, you're good at this. This, I'm not a graphic designer, but this is dope. I like streetwear. He was like the guy in middle school. We had been friends since middle school, and he was getting me into Stussy and stuff. So he had a really big, he was the only other kid at my school that skateboarded.
Oh shit. Yeah.
So like he was a big connection to what inspired This Old Engine, especially at the beginning. But I had just asked him like, yo, dude, I'd love to like kind of like bump ideas off of you. And like, if you want to do your ideas, it could be cool to kind of like collab on things. And yeah, and then like a few weeks later, he passed away. But that changed a lot of things for me personally. That was like a whole like, dude, you're in your late, I was in my late 20s. And I had been living with my lady, and like I was just like, yo, it might be time to like start your life too.
figure it out.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like set some roots.
I do know what you mean, but at the same time, man, I still not sure what I'm doing. Honestly.
Yeah, hey man, I was just like making stickers and selling them, and now I have like a studio that I like run and go to and like print like hundreds of posters for like legit bands that like I love seeing and love listening to. It's like
that's something I wanted to talk to you about too, man. Like we had Andrew Sachs on a while back.
Yeah, he does great stuff,
dude, and he's this fucking coolest, sweetest human being on the planet. But we had picked him up at the airport, and we were driving to Cascade Equinox Festival with him. We were kind of talking about his process, and he had done some work for Trey Anastasio band, and he was talking about how he sends the printing out to this particular company to get the printing done, and how it all works on that end of stuff. And I'm curious, like, because you're doing all the printing yourself in-house, you can actually like charge more for what you're doing, or keep more of the money for what you're doing. Is that true?
Don't tell them my secret.
Cut.
Yeah. Well, it's an acquired skill. After learning, I have a great mentor. He literally doesn't do social media. He'll probably never hear this, and no one.
Wow.
He's older, but
old school.
It's my buddy Ray. He works over at this place that I worked. He owns Good Thoughts Printing. And he did a lot of further stuff. That's kind of like how he kind of came up, and we did he's just very, very talented and knowledgeable screen printer.
Mm-hmm.
He's just, and he's been where I've been. And I literally could not do what I do without him being my legit mentor. Like, yeah, he's my old boss. But he's an old head,
mm-hmm.
and he just like, I think he's about it, and he loves to support what I do. And the thing about working there is that there was only like 4 of us working at this shop plus him.
Mm-hmm.
So like where there's all this heavy machinery, you guys are aware it's a multi-step process, but the machine was so big, we were printing 2 at a time. And I was able to learn kind of not every aspect of it, but a good 90% of the whole thing, like from how the art comes in
mm-hmm.
to how the client hits you up, to how like the art needs to be set up right when it gets to you, and then how that back end all happens. And then as well as once everything gets approved, the actual process of screen printing. I'd come from the t-shirt world, which gave me, screen printing shirts right here in this room. That's now my office. I don't have any press in here. It feels great. But basically I was able to learn every single step. and it was in an environment that was just like, I just felt like was just made for me to learn in, man. It was just like an old head. He
Right.
loved the same art that I did. He loved to tell stories of being on tour and kind of letting us know how it used to be. And he still prints for many acts that are related to the Grateful Dead,
Right.
which is really cool, So with that knowledge, I was kind of able to, over the span of now, I think it's almost been 2 years since I worked there, really kind of get my feet set in my own studio and be able to do that process on my own. But I don't have any machinery. That's like kind of
You're
the
doing
unique.
everything hand printing.
Yeah, I have like a big, they call it a one-arm bandit. And you don't really see a lot of them in the gig poster world anymore because you can get an automatic press and you can do way more volume. But I think bands are really into it, like they're into Pollock's kind of touch.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's more DIY
to that, but in the sense of having something handmade,
Fully.
maybe there's a little thumbprint on the back of it or whatever. I think people kind of like that.
For sure. I mean,
yeah,
you do.
Oh yeah.
right.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to posters, yeah, like the more limited and the special touches and just knowing that's like, what do you call it? Kind of like grassroots, like the DIY. You're really putting in more like blood, sweat, and tears into the process.
Yeah, it's like in the video game of life, like all the screen printers are just leveled. They're just, if musicians were like, you got to level 1 in the video game, evolved to level 2.
Right.
Everybody's just like, yeah, I used to play in a band, worked at a print shop. Everybody had kids. Everybody got married, learned how to screen print. This is what I do now. It's like whole new world. It's just like discovering jam band music or Grateful Dead family stuff, or being a musician yourself and discovering that whole world. But now there's this whole other world of, gig poster guys that I'm totally the new guy in. But it's really cool to kind of experience that, like a whole new thing.
What's the reception been for you like in that world? Have people been chill?
I've been really lucky to hang out with some guys that I had like printed their stuff at the shop,
Right.
Been able to be like, we printed your stuff at my job. And that was kind of cool. Or I got to meet Aaron Draplin at Flatstock. That was pretty rad.
Dude, Draplin is the reason one of the reasons I live in Portland.
Oh yeah.
No bullshit. When I went to graphic design school.
Yeah.
And when I was in design school, Draplin was a big dude and I was really like super heavy then. And he was like badass and he lived in Portland and he did his own thing and he cursed. And I was like, I want to be like him.
You're like the snowboard graphic guy.
Yeah.
I want to be like you, right?
And he was such the like tech, like into fonts and nerding out on like angles and the way fonts flow. And I just was like, I want to know all that shit. Yeah, he's fucking dope.
He was cool in person too, man. Like I was lucky enough to, it's funny, I did Flatstock down in Austin, and it was right before, I'm talking like 2 weeks before it was really going to start to heat up.
Okay.
Like I had like 3 posters dropping right after Flatstock ended. I was like gearing up to do Humphreys that summer, the National. I had just done some big names for the Fox and everything. I had Head in the Heart. And I went with like nothing, and people were still like really cool to me. I'd only had a couple gig posters at that point. The trip was really fun, and I got to meet a lot of like the homies, man.
Right.
Like, they all hang out together. They're all friends. And
it's
one of my really good friends that you guys probably have heard of, the Ad Noise Studios guy, Mike Talman. He's been a really, really good homie to me. And he played guitar in a band called Youth Orchestra from Iowa, jam and funk band. And a few of them, they all lived in Denver and played here. And so we kind of can chat about like guitar player stuff and like, when he puts an amp on a poster or something, I'm like, yeah, Mike,
dude. Yeah.
I was able to meet him, and then my homie that sold me the press, Joe from Moonlight Speed, he was at Flatstock too. And he would hate that I said this, but he definitely like kind of like big brothered me in a way and was kind of took me in and was able to introduce me to his friends,
So you got to network and get to know the homies in the world.
Yeah, I got to meet like, the haphazard guys. They were super nice.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's just like so many people. And then Bailey Race has been a really good homie of mine too. We're both like younger. He's even younger than me. He's crazy, man. He's so good at what he does, and he's on it. He's on the ball. But he's been a good friend to me too. And like, I don't know, I always feel like we're like the younger dudes kind of at the trade shows or whatever. And so like, it was kind of fun hanging out with him at the last Fight Stock as well. So it's kind of like a whole world.
In hindsight, are you stoked that it went this way?
Yeah, man. I mean, I was thinking about it the other day because I was like, he's going to ask me some hard questions. That's why I love you, man.
I love you too, man.
Because I was just like, I remember the moment that I looked at my buddy Eric, who was in the band before you guys met us. We were in Baton Rouge. We were in a cafe. And I looked at him and I was like, yeah, when we get home, like, I'm going to learn how to screen print. And like a year later, I was working at the shop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was just kind of like, yeah, I guess it was kind of like a thing. Like my brain kind of wanted to do it, and I've been really lucky that people have responded in the way that they do.
So, can we nerd out for a second?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you obviously went and learned Photoshop and Illustrator, right?
Yeah, so I had taken a film class in high school, and they taught us Premiere, and that was before Premiere had, I think, a text function in it. So you'd have to make your text in Photoshop, export the PNG. Remember that? And then you put it in Premiere. So I learned Photoshop as a 16-year-old with 4 other kids in my class, like through that, right? And then so I used the Premiere stuff for more and more, like making all our YouTube videos and stuff,
right?
And then as Amoramora kind of started in around 2017, I started paying for the Adobe suite. And that's when I like learned Illustrator. I paid for Draplin's Skillshare class, watched all the YouTube videos that I could and kind of learned Photoshop along the way as well. And I had what I had thought was a pretty good handle on Photoshop until I started working at the screen printing shop. And then Photoshop got pretty fucking serious pretty quick.
Dude. I went for in Vegas when we lived there, there's like trade show companies. Like it's what they do is they build trade show booths and design all the graphics for and it's a big, like multi-billion-dollar business in Vegas. And there's one particular company that's like the company. And I went and I had a friend that worked there. He was a printer there. And he was like, "Oh, dude, I can get you a job, but you got to pass the audition." I was like, "There's an audition?" He's like, "Yeah, you come in and you take a test, and then they have you design something after you take the test." And I was in design school at the time, and I was like, "No problem, I got this. I know Photoshop." And I went in there, and holy shit, dude! Like, set up this print for this kind of printer at this. I was just like, I just stood up and was like, I don't know any of this. I'm going to just leave you guys.
Like that was I think what kind of like my other homies that I worked with at the print shop. And I totally get it. You're like, oh yeah, I got a pretty good handle on it. And then you watch them do something. They just like, don't even touch the mouse. They're just like all hotkeys.
Yeah.
what did you just do?
Yeah. It looks like magic.
Right. My mentor, Ray, was like so used to, he taught me how to separate posters. So I was separating.
Color separating. Okay.
Yeah. So that was the thing, is like, he was nice enough. And I mean, he wasn't teaching the other guys that worked there this
Right.
stuff.
No.
I think he just had a genuine interest in it. So he taught me how to separate posters. Like, I have string cheese posters on my wall that like I separated that are like professionally printed.
That's dope.
I helped separate one of the Dead & Co. posters. I mean, it was really basic stuff, but that's how I learned on it. And then all the math behind the dot work, and all like the different print. So he literally had me do everything, dude, down to like take these cartridges out of the film printer, clean them, look up on the internet how to replace them, get a microchip, replace that, get the ink, order that, replace that, put it back into the printer, and then we got to have films for like the next freaking,
oh shit,
or whatever.
You know what that reminds me of, Danny? It's like, I remember when I bought a school bus and went on tour, right?
Oh, that's epic, dude.
And I was this like 19-year-old. I'd been into the Dead for like a year. I knew nothing about anything. I didn't know the lot. Nothing. I just knew like I'm going on tour. And there was this older bunch of heads. This Captain Ed, this cat, owned the first head shop in the San Fernando Valley in the 60s. And him and his crew, Captain Ed, had this bus, and it was Captain Ed and this dude Wheels, and Wheels always wore roller skates. And and they were just like old prankster heads.
Right.
And I remember after a couple of shows, I had like 4 people on my bus at the time, and I got 2 spun at a show, and I didn't get in, and I was like in the bus, laid out, just puddled, tripping my face off. And here comes this old fucking head. He had a long gray beard, and he always wore like American flag pants, and he had a top hat. And he comes in and he grabbed me, and he was like, "Yo, you're in charge of this bus. What the fuck are you doing? You got no business being on this lot. You don't know what you're like." He just like read me the riot act. Like, these people are under your care, and you're too fucked up to take care of your family, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, dude.
And from that day on, like, that cat showed me the ropes. He taught me the lot. He showed me how to get from place to place without getting busted. He like made sure that we always had food, and was just dope the whole time. And that's kind of like the ethos of the Grateful Dead, is the older generation taking a younger generation under their wing and helping them into the scene and into what it is. So it kind of makes sense. It makes sense.
You gave me goosebumps, dude. You gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, man. He saw that you were into it, and that
gave you a little scolding.
You loved it, and he's like, "All right, I'm going to teach you how to do this, but I'm going to teach you how to do it the hard way, so that you appreciate what it is."
Yeah, he still gives me. I mean, I'm over there. I'm up in his shit all the time. You know, he still prints my films, and I've got a million fucking questions for him all the time. And he puts up with me. You know what I mean? And he hasn't told me to fuck off quite yet.
Well, what he's not telling you, Danny, is there's some guy that's probably passed on now that he did the exact same thing to.
Yeah, it's crazy. I always wonder that, like, where he learned it. And the cool thing is that he is an older head, and I did work there like while Dead & Company was touring.
Right.
You know, so we got to go to, I don't know if they did Folsom they did Folsom. We went to Folsom, and then we did, the crazy shit is like, it was right after COVID. So like Red Rocks is just starting to go. So we did the Bob Weir Wolf Brothers. I think we did that one for Red Rocks. And then we did a freaking Stanley Mouse poster.
Whoa.
For Billy and the Kids. And I had to drive them to Red Rocks. And it was like, oh my God, what's in the back of my car right now?
Oh, shit. Wow.
That was pretty cool. I was just like, they had given me a backstage pass, and and the guy that I was giving it to, like my boss was like, he's cool. He's a musician. He's not going to be weird. You know, I'm gonna walk around, whatever. There's going to be a million fucking people back there anyways. And yeah, so I hand him the box of posters. He's like, all right, cool. You got your pass? And I'm like, yeah, it's right here. And he's like, swipes it from my hand. He's like, here's your ticket. Have a good night.
Oh, thanks for the delivery. Go join the crowd.
It was the Billy Strings, Billy and the Kids.
That was, dude, that is.
You got to be there.
I think that is, in my opinion, the best Grateful Dead music in the past. I don't even know how long.
Yeah, that was one of those nights. I mean, I've been to Red Rocks so many times, and that was one of those nights that was like, I mean, that summer, man, was good. Was just everybody missed each other.
Yeah,
you know, and those shows were heavily traveled to.
Yep.
So, and it was before Dead & Co. kind of, I think, wrapped things back up. So that was cool. And like when I started working at that shop, like I wasn't really into Dead & Company. I was like not really about it.
You weren't feeling it, huh?
But by the time it ended, I couldn't get enough, man. I was just like traveling to see them. I was just like, this band is on one. I'm about it. That last tour especially. And that was cool to kind of see, like, I did get to go to the shows where I felt like Billy Kay transitioned to Jay Lane. Like I was at the Colorado run. I got to go to those when I was working at the shop was when those Red Rocks shows happened.
Mm-hmm.
And we were really fortunate enough to get like, you know, 7th row right in the middle for those shows, which was pretty cool to get. That was really nice of my boss to do that for us. And I felt like it was cool to be involved with that while it was going, you know?
Yeah.
But I will say, like, now that that's not a band anymore, I just, like, love Tom Hamilton's guitar playing. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
so
he
clean.
Just rips it, dude.
Yeah.
He absolutely shreds that shit. And I read a Jam Bass. Was it Jam Bass or Live for Live Music? I think it was around the time that J-Rad started. And he was like, we just aim to play the music with a little bit more piss and vinegar.
Yeah, doing that.
You know?
Yeah. And
like,
when we talked to him, he was like, you know, I'm standing up there between Marco and Joe, and I just feel like I'm just the worst musician on that stage. Like, I don't have any business being up there.
Are you say they're heavy cats?
Fucking kidding me, man?
That's like as heavy as it can get.
I think you earned your spot, Tommy. You definitely.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. It's cool to hear that though from a musician like that we all look up to. When you hear them like I'm not that good. It's like, what? Like that's being really humble.
Well, yeah. If you dig Tom Hamilton, have you checked out More?
Is that like a band?
Yeah, it's his old.
Who's in it?
It's his old shit. It's like his high school friends.
And his brother too, wasn't it? His brother, and so, it's an interesting.
If you like Tom Hamilton, check out More. I'll send it to you. I'll send you a link.
I like the deep stuff, man. Like once somebody showed me Steve Kimmock back in the day.
Oh, it was on.
You know, like yeah, dude, like
down the rabbit hole,
stuff like that. I'm just like, yo, this is the stuff I want to be shown. Like this is the stuff I want to be listening. Yeah, definitely send me that stuff.
I will
for sure.
So
what do you guys have coming up this summer? You guys do anything cool?
Summer? We started
thinking. You guys doing Spear?
Yeah. Aaron,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Aaron and Mel they're doing all 4 days. I can only do 1 day because I work in the cannabis industry, and they're doing it on 420. That's the one. Yeah. In my job, it's like you cannot miss 420. That's the weed holiday. So I'm going for, to catch the Sunday show. I'm at least get one.
It's okay.
That is, dude, on a head full, that place is going to be.
Yeah, I'll be happy with one.
Dude,
I was wondering what the posters are going to be like.
I was thinking about that the other night. They have to do a round poster for that.
Right? That's what I was saying. You have to do a circle poster for that.
You have to do a circle. You can't make a square poster for the Sphere, guys.
Well, all the stuff coming out already, like immediately, whoever did that Sphere and Loathing.
That's Sean.
Was that Sean?
Yeah.
Okay. There's all kinds of different stuff popping
The
up
long,
as soon
strange
as they
putt.
Long
announced
strange
it.
putt. Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. I
That's
like
the
that
homie
shit.
too, man. Those are good folks.
People. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. I haven't been able to meet him yet. I did meet I run Boulder Dead Night
Oh
here in
shit.
town. It's been another cool thing that has kind of kept me connected to my like music days and my musician friends, as well as like plugged into like my community of heads here.
Yeah.
That's like, vast.
Yeah.
It just
Colorado's rife.
That's one of the few places I would want
it just keeps going. So
I would love to live in. I lived in Boulder for a short time, for about 6 months back when I was 24. So yeah, quite a while ago. And I loved it up there. It was so beautiful. I worked at a vitamin plant in Broomfield that was right next door. It was right next door to the Celestial Seasonings Tea Company.
Oh, nice. That's right down the road from me now.
Yeah. That's why I worked. And at the time I had a Ninja street bike and just rode back, and I rode up there in the mountains and stuff. And man, it's so beautiful up there in Boulder.
What's up, everybody? If you're like me and you're trying to do better for yourself and what you eat in this new year, I have something really cool for you. Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make eating better every day way easier. Wherever tomorrow takes you, be ready with pre-prepared, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. You're going to have over 35 different options a week to choose from, including keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie, and more. And there's even more to enjoy with over 55 nutrition-packed add-ons that help make your weekly meal planning even more delicious. What are you waiting for? Sign up and save. They've done all the math. Factor is less expensive than takeout, and every meal is dietitian approved to be nutritious and delicious. So here's what you got to do. Head to factormeals.com/NoSimpleRoad50 and use the code NoSimpleRoad50 to get 50% off your first box and 2 free wellness shots per box while subscription is active. That's code NoSimpleRoad50 at factormeals.com. Take all the guesswork out of trying to do the right thing for your body. Fuel up easy and fast. Go check out Factor. It seems like the heads from back in the day landed in 2 or 3 places. Like they either went back east and went to Vermont up there. They came to the
Woodstock,
Pacific Northwest, or they went to Boulder and rooted there. Like those are the hubs.
Very heady.
It's the hubs, man.
Yeah.
It's the hubs, dude. It's the portals. The portals, dude.
Fully.
Portals, or they're close to portals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The portal's somewhere close.
Red Rocks is definitely a portal. I had never been until 2021.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
just had never.
Green sky, bluegrass,
and circles around the sun.
That was the first night. And then the second night was green sky with Railroad Earth. And it was the first time. I can't believe that we got to see the first time Holly Bowling joined him, and it was her first time taking the stage at Red Rocks when she played with Green Sky.
It was insane.
Yeah,
it was insane. And
Green Sky's always been, it's been cool to see them come up. Like, dude, I literally would see them with Green at the Fox.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I was like in college, dude. I'd go by myself, dude, to see like Perpetual Groove and Green Sky Bluegrass. The funniest thing that you guys bring up Green Sky Bluegrass is so I've been in this studio for a while now, and I've done I did these trade shows once in Austin, and then another one I did the Trips Denver show.
Oh yeah.
I was really fortunate enough to be invited to that. That's like, I mean, between you, me, and everybody, I guess that's listening to this it's like technically out of my league, like I've done a few big
names.
I appreciate that,
Absolutely
but
not. Yeah.
There's there, and that was really cool. So there was a guy that I met there that I just noticed at the Denver show, and we got to chatting, and it's like the guy who does the merch for Green Sky.
Oh shit. Okay.
And he works for some festivals. He shares the wall with me at my studio.
What?
I had no idea, because every time I'm in there, I'm just working. I'm not like hanging out in there. It's not where I like do art, digitally or whatever. So yeah, he at the trip show, he's like, "Wait, where's your studio? Wait, what complex? Wait, what building? Wait, what unit?" So yeah, he's becoming a good homie.
That's
these
cool,
days.
man. That it just goes to show that you never ever know. You never know.
You never know. You never know.
It's good to hear what you said too, like how this whole jam band community that all the artists really support each other too, because we kind of saw that when we went to Fish Sticks in Denver.
Yeah.
And that's when we first met, Andrew Sachs and then Tunes and Sean. Like they all totally razz each other and cheer each other on to make like when somebody has an idea. We heard of like, I wonder if I should do this, and then they're like, fuck yeah, do this and add that. Like everybody's cheering for each other and wants everybody to make the best art possible.
Yeah, that's a good crew. I've had Mike. I had Mike from Half Past Dead at Dead Night this summer, along with Devin.
Devin's a good guy, Mike.
Yeah,
Devin's. He's just he's up and coming. He's a great illustrator. Like it's gonna be, he's just like on tour doing his thing, but we'll see like where it leads to.
Those are they're heady cats too, though, man. Like
I love it, dude. They're keeping the dream alive, and like you kind of gotta support like the touring kids. You know what I mean? So
yep.
Yeah, Fish Sticks is always a really big lot. I vended at Fish Sticks a couple years ago, and I just have so much dead stuff that you got to have like good fish stuff or good fish posters or anything. And I always ride that fine line of doing bootleg fish stuff because they're like a dream client. You know what I mean? Like
it's not worth it.
Yeah, and I know that one of their art directors like looks at my stuff sometimes. So I'm just like, I'm not trying to like, I just went to Fish this year, didn't vend the lot or anything, and I had a blast, dude. It was much fun.
Did you do all 4 days?
Dude, I can't do that shit anymore. I went one night, and it was the last night.
Oh, the rain night?
No, maybe it was Saturday.
It had to be Saturday then. Yeah,
Saturday was the three.
Saturday was the shit.
The
dude.
3-set night.
I had a grand old time.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds
so
like
I.
Saturday was.
I'm still trying to recover from that week.
Dude, 4 days at Dick's, dude. Just give us a festival that we can camp at, man.
Right?
Like,
yeah.
In a field somewhere. There's been all these festivals that like they're like some big promotion company in Colorado has filed an application for this many acres in Salida or Fairplay down by South Park or whatever, and you're like, that's it.
It's on.
That's the one. It's happening. And then it's like, application denied, like not enough porta potties in the county to like sustain, and you're just like, like what was it gonna be? Like it would have been something rad.
Now we have to go to Delaware.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that they'll do something fun and special. I think it's cool that they're doing a festival and the Sphere.
We've got Mel and I are going to Mexico for Fish Mexico. Yeah, we're doing that. We're doing the Sphere. There's talks about us doing the festival, and then we've got a local festival that we do here, Mojo Family Fest, that we perform at, and then Oregon Country Fair. We're going back to Oregon Country Fair this year, which is like the craziest. Danny, if you ever get the chance, man,
everybody says that
it's insane. And then I really want to do Halloween and Northlands this year.
Northlands looks dope.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Then in between all of that, we got to wait until Fish announces what else they're doing this year, because that they could be doing the Gorge, and that comes into play once they announce shit.
Yeah,
then it's like,
I'll be real with you guys. In 2017, we were gonna play with Pigeons playing ping pong at the Boulder Theater, and the night before King Gizzard was coming through. And they got me into like the promotional company got me into the show. Had my mind blown. And ever since then, I was like an undercover King Gizzard head, right? But now they're like
Now they've blown up.
super popular, and I have tickets to go see them at the Gorge. And I've been super into them for the past, since I've seen them, but nobody was really into them back when like we're homies, like or when we did the old episode. And it was just kind of like it's been this thing, and I've like made new friends that are Giz heads, and it's this community that's like really supportive, and like there's a lot of artists, and it's been cool to kind of experience a community that like really is about other people's art, and a band that kind of like weirdly embraces that aspect of their fan base, and it's just like refreshing to be, I feel like, just kind of experience that happening.
Well, there can be, and the jam band world is like this too. Like there can be an elitist kind of vibe where like, oh, you weren't into this back in 1991. You're not cool. Or like, I've been making art for this band since, whatever. And
I saw Jerry.
Yeah, so what? Nobody cares. Yeah, see, totally, man.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, right on cue.
I wasn't lucky enough to see Jerry, but I got here as fast as I could.
No shit. And so it's cool to hear that. It's cool to hear that like their communities exist where it's open like that. And you know what, man? My experience with Fish was really that. What you just said, right. Like very refreshing for me. Like I didn't really get into Fish until 2015. Like my first Fish show was in 94, but I didn't go back until 2015. And
that was probably crazy for you to see how
it was insane. And everybody was so cool, man. Like I remember walking with Mel at Dick's, our first year of ever going there, and this guy was selling coasters or not coasters, Jesus Christ, koozies, and nice. It had what Patrick Swayze and from Ghost, like the pottery scene, and it said Ghost on it, and it had Trey's face, and Mel didn't know what that was. Like this is like your third Fish show or whatever, and she asked the guy, she was like, "What's that? What's Ghost?" And the guy like stopped, fully explained everything, and was so sweet, gave her a koozie, and was like on his way. And I was like, whoa, that wouldn't have happened years ago in Deadlot. Like they'd have been like, what? Yeah. You know what I mean? It was
a little more hardened.
Yeah.
I got to, it's actually kind of interesting that you say that, because I went to I'd been in the dead scene, right, with the This Old Engine thing. And for years, people were like, what shows are you going to? And I'm like, I live here, I'll be going to the Colorado shows. And I finally went out to New York City this year to Citi Field, which was epic. It was so much fun. And I had so much fun, like meeting all these people that had been buying my stuff for so long. New York City's like, if it's like Boulder, Denver on my like sales list or whatever, New York City's like third. Okay. So like I have a ton of people there that have supported me for a long time. And it was cool to kind of meet everybody. But that being said, vending on lot means you kind of got to get there early. You're with everybody else, and I've been on my fair share of lots, but New York City lot is a whole different ball game. It was definitely like not for non-veterans,
not for kids.
Your homie in the American flag pants. Like I had a kid walk up and he was like trying to buy a t-shirt and slurp down a little, air, and like hit the deck, and I had to like help him out. And like you just kind of got to know that it's like that if you're gonna like go out there and,
be ready.
You got to be a little hardened, you know what I mean? You're like, we're not staying here after the show, like
you were packing this shit up.
I was like racing back to Brooklyn Bowl because I wanted to see LP Giobbi, I think that's how you say her name.
Yep.
Dope. I love that shit.
She's fucking amazing, bro.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was cool because I was like I like went to the side of the stage kind of, and like got to kind of see her like play too, the piano, and that was kind of dope. I didn't know she did that.
Danny, out of all the artists that you've made stuff for, is there one that like stands out as like the one that you got that you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. There's a guy named Richard Biffle who's done a lot of work for the Grateful Dead. He did a lot of like the shirts, like the liquid blue sunflower skeleton painting airbrushy stuff.
Yeah.
And he's a good friend. Yeah, he lives out here. And I didn't know it at the time, but as I printed more and more stuff of his, because we were basically like the shop that he always went to, he became one of my favorites. Just because he's like hired a lot and you can tell he has to come up with a lot of ideas, and he's been an artist for a while. And just the main thing I did at the shop was I was ink room. So my main job was to nail the color, and I would have to. His posters are sometimes very elaborate overlays. I have to test multiple colors overlaying at once. It's very rigorous process that sometimes can take like a full day if you're not very good at it. And doing that stuff, I really became to. I mean, we did a lot of stuff, and there were some posters I definitely hated printing, but I always loved doing his stuff.
But what about you as this old engine?
So as this old engine, I don't take contract work. I only print my stuff, and that's been able to kind of let me do the majority like of the art now instead of printing other people's stuff.
Right. Like I saw you did like Sam Grissman project. And
yeah, so I listened to the Sam Grissman episode today, actually, of No Simple Road. Shout out Sam. He literally put me on the map. Dude, I love Sam.
Such a good dude.
Yeah, he's like I would consider him a friend for sure. We've definitely broed down. We've had a couple long phone calls. Nothing like too crazy, but definitely like got to know him more than like a normal client. And he was definitely just like really cool to me. He'd always answer my like nerdy ass questions when I would just be like, what was this like? Like blah, blah, blah. And he was always put up with my bullshit like that. But yeah, we did like 3 posters quickly. And then we did one together with Midnight North, and he introduced me to Graham Lesh. And then I've been doing some work for Graham at the end of this year I'm printing a poster for them for their next tour, which is cool because I think the first No Simple Road podcast episode I ever listened to might have been Graham Lesh, which is pretty funny.
Wow. Yeah. We've been doing this for going on 7 years. And like, when I decided that like, okay, I want No Simple Road to be the thing that I do from now on. Right. Like, I still work a day job, and I've never, I never fully leaned into my graphic design stuff. Like I have so many designs that I just have sat on, and they sit on my iPad in a fucking folder for no reason. And
dude, put it out there, bro.
I've always been like so scared to put my stuff out, like it's so timid. And when I saw you doing it, I was like, well, fuck, man, like Danny's doing it. If Danny can do it, I think I could maybe share some stuff. So you've inspired me too, man. And I appreciate it. Yeah, for real, man. Like
I love that.
It's dope to see like this stuff just comes out of your head, man. Nobody's giving you that stuff. Those images and those posters that you make are you're putting that out there into the world and
doing it for people you love.
Right. And it represents the music that we dig, man. That's like the coolest shit ever.
Yeah. It's cool. Like to go to piggyback off the answer to your question too. Like I always would ask my fiance, Ashley, who has literally like been with me since I was a musician, met me while I sat in with the String Cheese Incident cover band one night, and we've just been in love, and we're gonna get married ever since.
Fuck yeah.
It's funny, but dude, like I always would ask her, I'm like, do you think the bumper sticker thing kind of cheapens me as an artist? Do you think like doing witty bumper stickers is like really that cool? Do you think it maybe isn't really the look if I'm trying to get like really legit illustration work that I can do? And she was always just like, no, you should keep them, whatever. I ended up selling a bumper sticker to the bassist of the National, man. And the National I had been listening to since I was literally in high school.
Right.
My high school girlfriend showed me that when we were like juniors in high school. And to get that email, that was the biggest job I've ever printed by myself. I'm super grateful for them as a band. They're huge.
Yeah.
They have songs with Taylor Swift and Phoebe Bridgers and these powerhouse artists that like are just badass ladies too. And just it was cool to just even be mentioned in the same circle as the National or them want my art, because my art is not what their posters usually look like, man. My art is totally like Danny art. A lot of the time they hire like really legit studios with long-standing client history to like take care of their work. So it was really cool to get that, and then literally the same day, Humphreys emailed me. And I was just like, holy shit, like the National and Humphreys. I followed Humphreys for like, I was really into Humphreys for like 2 years in college. And I was just like, this is a wild ride of a year. And it kind of reminds me of the Amoramora thing. And I feel really grateful to like be able to stick my creative energy into something else. But I also feel like I've learned so many lessons working with bands and being in a band that I'm able to navigate like what I do like a lot better. And I think that's been kind of like what's led me to like be able to kind of do what I do now.
I think that those things that we learn when we're coming up, whether it's on the lot or playing in a band or whatever, those things are the things that are gonna make you successful in whatever you're passionate about. And I'm talking about the things like have integrity with what you do. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, you fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like that, those kind of lessons, that's the stuff that carries you through and makes you successful. And you are a legit studio, brother.
Thank you.
Whether
I
you,
appreciate
I mean, and me saying that ask the kid that's drawing in his room right now that's wishing that he could do poster art if you're legit or not. You're fucking legit. You know
Thanks,
what I mean?
Yeah. It's legit these days for sure. It's kind of wild to think about how just much it's happened and just like how grateful I am that people have accepted me as a musician, but still just to like accept me as a visual artist. Like some people that I've been able to ask questions with or even talk with are illustrators that like I really admire their work, and I'll never be able to draw as good as them, but it gives me the greatest creative fulfillment that I've experienced out of all my creative endeavors. And I mean, not too long of a story, but I tried to go to art school. I was really into art as a high schooler. And the art department just like really at my high school just didn't really support my art school application. They like weren't really gonna sign it.
Whoa.
So it just didn't. Yeah, they wouldn't let me take the classes. It was just a whole thing. So then I kind of just gave up on it because it was just told that I wasn't good enough at it. And then as things started to heat up, I realized I was like, why did you just listen to like the negativity and you just shut off that road and never ever explored it ever again? So it's been kind of cool, dusting off stuff and now being an adult and being able to turn it into a job and then work with bands that I truly admire their music. And I'm just like, holy shit, I can't believe I get to, do this for this band.
And that's
it's
why
cool.
it's badass.
It's cool to be a part of history, man, because each of them are just like a point in time. Like Dogs in a Pile has been a really good client for me as well. And I remember when those dudes being in the band and knowing about Dogs in a Pile as like a little baby band. And now right before we were talking, I was watching this reel and they're just like shredding Harry Hood to pieces.
With,
and I'm just like,
with Mahali.
Like I'm gonna start crying in the kitchen. I'm like trying to unclog my bomb. Like, I feel fucking good about Hood.
Hell
Fuck
yeah, dude.
Hey, I'll take.
But they've been a cool. I feel lucky to like be asked to be a part of those bands' come ups. When they like spend their hard-earned money on illustration work or poster art for me. Like I feel like it's like, oh dude, well if they're coming up now, imagine where they'll be in 5 years.
Fuck yeah.
It seems to me because the print for Dogs in a Pile yours is amazing. And same with like Andrews, and say it seems to me like when people do something for Dogs in a Pile, it pulls something else out of their mind that they haven't done for other artists. Like for I don't know. It just seems like that to me because I see a lot of their posters and the work that those artists do for other people, and it seems to me as a looker on and loving artwork that it's like that it reached into something else in the brain to pull out for Dogs in the Pile stuff, and their merch is always awesome. They get great stuff.
I give all the credit. I'm gonna give all the credit to Andrew because he literally just DM'd me one day and he was like, yo, I gave your information to Dogs in a Pile, and I was like, oh yeah, dude.
Fuck
like,
yeah, brother.
Appreciate that, dude. And yeah, I just the first print I did for them needed to be done really quick, and they were just like, give us something Colorado. And it was really fun because I just like they accepted the first thing I did, and I was getting into CMYK printing at the time, and I like did this badass CMYK print with like a dark periwinkle key line. Like I was really messing around, and they were totally down with it. And that I was cool, like being at the poster show in Denver, and I had a couple people with that print, like all flat still, being like, "Can you like illustrate something on this for me?"
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, that's a really cool feeling.
See, yeah, allowing the artist to be the artist, and like, hey man, do your thing, be you, and go for it. That's what it's about.
Yeah, well, it's cool. Speaking of Richard Biffle, like when I was at that particular show, there's all these big poster artists, and Richard has like a line like the whole day, man.
Right?
Like everybody's trying to, but he's only one table away from me, so it was cool to see him like selling literally that first print. He still has them, and people were walking out, and he was signing them and everything, and they'd come up to my booth and be like, how long have you been screen printing? And I'd be like, just about as long as that print has been alive.
Yeah, that poster. There's the start.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's been a cool journey to like kind of to pivot. And I've been lucky in the sense that it's actually like been working for me.
I'm so stoked for you, dude.
Thanks, man.
When I saw it going down, I was like, fuck yeah. Because dude, I went to art school at 44.
That's pretty dope, though.
I was like midlife crisising out, and like I didn't figure it out.
Quarter life, dude, and I started working at the screen printing shop, and I was just like, hey, man, I'm an artist now, and it worked. I mean, Ray would always tell me, he's like, I'm paying you to learn shit. I'm paying you to go to art school, or this is your art school, or whatever.
He's right.
And he was right. And yeah, he'll still, it's the type of shit where I'll go over there and I'll be like, I printed your film. So I'll be like, thank you. I appreciate that. He's like, you're using too much fucking yellow. And I'm just like, what? It's just like, it's my art. He's like, yeah, well, maybe dial it back. And I'm just like, okay.
He's got it.
I need that because he's the only one in my life that I'll listen to like that. You know what I mean? It's great.
So Danny, if people want to get your stuff, like you have a site where they can go get your merch and posters and stuff, right?
Yeah. thisoldengine.net, is just where you can go get it. I'll probably I have some hats. I've been getting in the hat game. That's been a fun kind of outlet for me. And I don't know how many more t-shirts we'll be doing.
Embroidery?
Yeah. I got a good connect for embroidery that basically I'm able to like manufacture the entire hat. So I'm able to pick the Pantone of like each part of the hat. It's not just like a blank that's like it's embroidered on.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that kind of keeps me connected to like designing clothes.
Oh shit. Okay.
But, yeah. So I'm trying to like the posters are really stacking up, so I'm probably going to be dialing the shop back. But if people want to go check out the shop. There'll definitely be some posters up for sale, and that's the best way to get my art because all my stuff's small runs at this point.
Right on.
Except for the massive Warren Haynes run I just did. That one was a pretty big one.
The Christmas Jam.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's
that
sick.
was like that was I was like, man, what a way to end this year.
Dude,
Hell yeah.
all the people that were involved in that Christmas Jam, it was like, holy shit.
Apple, I know, dude. I was like, they were like, do you want to come? And then I was just like, yeah, but I live in Boulder. And they're like, oh, but like Slash is playing, and I'm just like,
Slash.
dude,
they had the guitar player from Clutch. They the different mix of musicians. I don't remember.
His name's like Miles something, I think.
No, he was. We talked to somebody that it was.
It was on stage there.
What was it? Was it Karina?
No, Adam November. It was Adam November.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed that interview.
There were so many musicians playing there, and then the other poster artists that they got Pete Shaw, Justin Heldon, and Helen Zascourt.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's cool. I got to meet her at literally like a Dead & Co. vending event when they played here in like the fall of 21. I think we just had to like set up next to each other. And yeah, she's been cool. I wish I've gotten to hang out with her more, but I think she just had a kid.
Yeah, she did.
They're taking it easy. Yeah, they were all asking me at Flatstock because I'm like the only like deadhead kid there, and they're like, where's Zascorp? Like, is she coming this year? I was like, I don't know. I hope so. Like, I really hope so because I love her posters. Like, but yeah, it's cool to kind of have just like another artist like that too, that we can chat sometimes because we both kind of came up in a similar way.
Yeah.
The lot T-shirts or stickers or whatever.
That's the beauty of the scene, man. It really is.
Yeah, she's cool. There's always like the trained artists. There's always like the trained screen printer guys. There's just like, and then there's like, okay, well now we're artists, we're screen printers, and it's just I've just been able to kind of like feel like I thought music was my calling, and then I'm like, I think this might be my calling.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Multiple.
You look happy, man. You do. You look happy, and that's cool.
Thanks, man. I'm well rested. I haven't been on tour. I was listening to that old episode, and I was just like, yeah, did you know we slept in the Rite Aid parking lot last night? Like, we actually definitely slept in the van in a Rite Aid parking lot. It was chill though because it was right outside the party we were at. But I was thinking about how different my life is now. It's way more structured. Like I have a business to run, and stuff like that. So it was like a trip listening to that, and I appreciate you guys having me back on too.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
Dude!
Hell yeah!
Catch up with you
love
guys,
you, man. And
I love you too. And there's no porch. I mean, I know you guys would do it inside in the winter, but this is a cool setup.
Yeah, we've moved up.
We've graduated up to. Yeah,
we have our own studio now, kind of like you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, it's cool when you follow your passion and you feel impatient, right?
So
you feel
impatient.
Like, and then you kind of like you get a little bit of a horizon, as my dad says. You get a little bit of a horizon, like if you're sailing, you get like a point or whatever. And you're like, maybe I don't have to like rush and freak out so much. Like this is gonna keep going. I don't have to like lose sleep over it. I can just kind of show up to work and kind of do a good job and like
be
somebody
here
else
and like enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Yes, totally enjoy it.
I love that, bro. I love that, dude. Yeah. I gotta send you guys some hats, the Enjoying the Ride hats.
Yeah. And hey, when next time we come to Denver, we gotta kick it.
Yeah.
Dude, I know. I kept an eye out at fish sticks. I kept pretty low pro that weekend, I will say. So
yeah, we'll hit you up when we come back, man.
Well, I'm glad you guys are doing so well, dude. Seriously, like
you too, man.
So good to see you.
All right,
so
brother. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
Love you, man.
Put a jacket on and get inside. You're making us cold.
Yeah, you're gonna freeze out there in the mountains,
You're
man.
gonna see tomorrow. You're gonna be like, "Oh, what happened to Danny? Oh, well, he froze outside
Out there on the Flatiron. Right on, man. We'll talk to you soon, Danny.
All right, Danny. Love you, brother.
Later, homie.
Later.
But it's a burden. Felony just been deferred, and hell means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. 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 My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Well, hey friends, my name is Zach Lupitin. You may know me from the band Dust Bowl Revival, but I also host a music discovery podcast called The Show on the Road. For the last 5 seasons, I've been able to dive deep and have intimate chats with folks like the Lumineers, Ani DeFranco, Wolfpack, Keb Mo, Lake Street Dive, Bela Fleck, and more. So guess what? After 150 conversations with some of my favorite songwriters from around the world, we are bringing brand new episodes to the Osiris Network. New interviews and intimate acoustic performances will be coming at you this summer. And which episodes are coming next, you ask?
I am Zach Goody, the lead singer for the band Smash Mouth.
Our band is called Milky Chance. We are based in Berlin.
My name is David Shaw. I sing and write songs with my band, The Revivalists.
Trust me, these conversations go some wild places. So subscribe to The Show on the Road on Osiris, and we'll see you soon.